Hello everybody. I'm going to try this. This is probably my 4th try doing this video. You YouTubers out there make it look way too easy. The first time I did it upside down. The second time I did it, my book was half off the screen. The third time my battery went dead. The fourth time it was upside down again. So let's hope this time it's right. Anyway, this is a Christmas album I just finally finished. It all started with this key I bought at a flea market. It says, "If found, please return to Santa." And I thought, oh, it'd be cool on the binding of my mini album. So I've got fibers and ribbons on the sides of my bindings. These numbers I cut out with my Cricut out of a cereal box, and the Christmas tree I cut out with a Sizzix die out of a cereal box as well. I used 3 layers of ultra thick embossing enamel on this, and then I sprinkled green Martha Stewart glitter on and heat set it into the embossing enamel. Really cool, really cool. And the glitter doesn't come off because it's set in there. I did the same with the numbers, except I only did 2 coats of the embossing enamel, and it's a little bit different, more of a rustic look to it. Pretty cool still. The papers in here, I've used all just different kinds of papers. I tend to not just pick one collection. I kind of just grab papers that I like and put everything in a basket, and that's where I work from. This next page is just a little pocket that I made, and it's got "Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow" on it, and some flowers that I got at Michael's that I took apart, and "Hang your stocking and say your prayers." And then this is just an accordion file thing. I think I'm going to put mostly journaling and a few pictures on here. We spent Christmas in Rollo, Saskatchewan this year, which was kind of different for us because I usually have Christmas. We live on a farm and everybody likes to go outside and go skidooing and everything, and my niece bought a house in Rollo, and so we went there for Christmas. And any Canadians out there that watched Corner Gas was filmed in Rollo, Saskatchewan, so the Ruby's and the Corner Gas store and some of the buildings in town are still there. So I've got pictures of them that I want to include in this album, and I thought I'd do it on that page. This is a little acrylic sheet that I got from a Cricut cartridge. All that nasty packaging they package everything in. Now that I'm into this, I save everything and I ink it up and stamp it and emboss it and use it. It's really cool. This is another page with a photo mat and some bling, and I had done a snowflake with the same technique I did on the Christmas tree in the front of on the cover of the book. And Laura from Following the Paper Trail had shown how she cut the center out of a die, a Sizzix die, because it was cutting big holes in the center, and I did that and made a flower, and I don't know, I just stuck it on there with some bling. And I did some embossing in here, and Marie, who I just admire from the Pretty Paper Boutique, I think it is. Aloha and Mabue on YouTube. She had done some Christmas tags, and I really, really loved this one. And I copied her technique. I lifted her technique and did it on this tag. And then on the back, I think it's that smooch spray I sprayed it with, and it would be good for a photo there. And it just tucks in here. This next page was pretty basic. This was a Sizzix die that I cut out and did UT on the cardstock, and then I put some glitter on the snowflake. This here, I've used my paint daubers in I think a green, a gold, and a red. And then I just did 1 layer of the UT, and it's really cool. It's just really pebbly, almost like ice on your window, frost, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. This page, I've embossed this with my Cuttlebug folder, and then I made a few tags using the Smooch Spray, Glimmer Mist, Distress inks, and I just draw my own lines on most of my tags. And then the back, I've got a little clip, paper clip, and a charm, and room for a picture. And these are the same. Same but different, I guess. There's another one, and this is one of my favorites. It's all glimmer misted up in a stamp of Santa, and the back is really cool. Lots of color. This one I'm not pleased with. It's got a big mark in the center, but I thought, you know, you can always put a photo there, cover it up. And then there's a photo mat back here. And this is just a K & Company sticker that I made a ribbon for and put it in there. And I covered the side here with ribbon, and I got some buttons for Christmas, so I cut the shanks off the buttons and just glued them on there. On this page here, I didn't do a whole lot. I used Distress embossing powder on the deer to give him some texture, and just put some bling on the paper, and used some, I think it's Stardust. Rose had done a video, and she did a Christmas album that I just absolutely loved. It was so beautiful, and she had used this embossing powder on much of that mini album, so I had to go out and buy it right away, and I had to try it, so I tried it on there. This is a file folder I cut out with my Cricut, and it opens up with room for photos here and here. This page here as well, I did Good Times. I stamped that and used the Distress embossing powder on it. Put lots of bling on this page, and then made another fold out for photos here. I think I counted, and there's about an opportunity for about 40 photos in this little mini album. On this page here, when I bought that key, I also bought this at that flea market. So I just glued the pearls down with some glossy accent to tuck a tag in, and I've got a big photo mat here. And Marie for Pretty Paper Boutique was doing another demo on a tag, so of course I copied that as well, and here's my first attempt at it. I love YouTube. You learn so much from YouTube. This page here, I'm a librarian, and I worked in a school library for years, and a few years ago we were doing a massive weed of our library, which is going through and removing books that aren't relevant to your collection anymore. And there were a lot of really old books, so I didn't have the heart to throw them away, so I kept some of them, and this one here was a Christmas book from the 30s, The Present That Betsy Wanted. So I took a page out of the book and distressed it and glimmer misted it, and then I stuck this Sugar and Spice and Everything Nice tag on it. And I've got a little niece that's 4 years old, and it's just, of course, adorable. So I'm going to put a picture of her there. And then there's room for another picture here, and Home for the Holidays. This page here, I took a floral sprig, and I cut it apart and glued it down, and a pussy willow sprig that I cut apart and glued down. And that tag I was talking about that Marie did, that she did demos of, she also did draws for them, and I was lucky. I won the one that I absolutely love. It is so beautiful. So I'm putting it in this, and I'll put pictures on the other side. And here's another tag from one of Marie's techniques. And this is another Cricut packaging that I've run through my Cuttlebug and added stickles to and embossed it, and just fun, fun, fun. This last page is a tin can, pop can, that I cut apart and ran it through the Cuttlebug embossing folder and inked it up and put that nice embossing powder around the edges, and then just put another tag here to put a picture on. And this is a floral that I took apart. I think I got that one at Walmart. And that's it. That's the back. I haven't put a tag on with my name on the back yet in the year. Hope to get that done soon. Anyway, I hope you liked this, and I really, really hope this video turned out and I don't have to do it again. And I hope to get a few more up in the next few days. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.